In the near future, a bunch of plugins that provide custom content will be moving to CCM. That is the Commons Custom Menu. Now, what does that mean? Well, the Commons Custom Menu is a standalone menu that looks similar to the core Talespire menu, but is standalone. The idea is that plugins that add custom content can register with that menu, and all of its contents will appear there. Now, why do we want to do this? Well, traditionally, plugins have registered with the actual Talespire menu, and then when BR makes an update and changes the way the menu works a little bit, it breaks plugins. For example is the audio plugin. It registered with the core Talespire menus, and BR did some kind of an update, and something has changed, and now the audio plugin doesn't work. So by making a separate standalone menu that plugins can register with, we're avoiding integration with BR code, and that means that when BR changes their code, the standalone menu should be safe, and hopefully the custom plugins will still function. So one of the first plugins that we will be moving over to CCM is Angel. Angel already implements its own menu, but right now we're going to move it away from a menu that it implements itself and move it to this common common custom menu. So let's have a look at what that looks like. This video here is going to show a little bit of highlights from both the common custom menu and also the new Angel plugin. Now, while we transition plugins over to CCM, I'm going to keep both copies of Angel around, because initially when we transition Angel over to CCM, it's not going to have all the bells and whistles. Most likely morphs and blend shapes are probably going to be missing. So I will keep both copies around for a while, but once all of the functionality is reproduced in the CCM version, we'll get rid of the original. Okay, so here we are in Talespire. We've got some assets already loaded here. So to open up the common custom menu, it is by keyboard. We intentionally do not do that through a UI component because, again, having it by keyboard gives the most resiliency. So here is our common custom menu. You can see that it has a very similar look and feel to the core menu. Not exactly, but similar. So over here on the left-hand side, we've got the different kinds. And these different kinds will depend on what assets you have downloaded. So for example, if you have no props or vehicles, those won't appear here. If you don't have any auras, the icon won't appear. But now the Commons custom menu allows us to have more specialized different kinds. Previously, it was just creature, aura, effects, filter, but now we can have additional categories such as props. Props may actually be minis, but something like a cart is it's not a true prop. It is a mini that looks like a prop, but now we can have a specific kind for that so that we can differentiate creatures and props. If there are more selections than it can fit on the screen, there will be a scroll bar here that allows you to scroll through them. We can also see that when we mouse over any of these, we've got down here the mouse over description, which tells us what the name of each of those categories are in case the icon was not self-explanatory. Then we have our headers and groups, just like in core. Depending on which one of these you click, it will automatically update the groups to reflect what headers and groups are available under that type selection. And then lastly, we've got the assets themselves. We have a badge or an icon for each one of them, but unlike core, we also have a name. How hard was that, BR? And just in case, we also have the mouse over, so that when we mouse over any of those assets, we get full details below, including the name, the type, the class, the group, but also things like the version, the author, the pack that it came from, the item within that pack, and then some information on if that asset is animated, has any audio, or has morphs. So we can very easily see, in case the name is not sufficient, we can see the details regarding all of those assets. Now, in addition to that, we have on our left-hand side filters. So we have the group filter, which filters based on the groups here, and we have the asset filter. So if I type spell here, we can see that as soon as I start typing, it immediately updates the groups to reflect that. At the moment, the filters are very simple contains filters. So if the keyword is contained in there, it will show up. If not, then it will skip it. In the future, I anticipate that we will have more complex filtering capabilities, but right now it's just a simple contains. Same thing we can do for the assets. If I type in blue here, I get all the entries that have blue. The filters work on name, description, and tags. So if the keyword shows up either in name or description or tags, it will be included. Now, one additional feature that we have here is the badge size slider. And with this, we can change the number of badges that appear per row. So if I clear my filter here, we can see right now I've got it set to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 badges per row. But for example, if you are visually challenged, you can scroll this and have 4 badges per row. The font size does scale a little bit, but not too much, so there is kind of a limit. The minimum here is 4, and if you prefer the other extreme, where you want to see as much of your badges as possible on a single screen, we can go all the way up to 25. At this point, obviously, as I said, the fonts really can't keep up. There's a limit to how small your font can go, but you do always have that mouse over to show you the details of whatever you're pointing at. And the setting that you have set this to should be remembered, so when you come back, it should remember what you had that value at. So that is basically the custom content menu with currently the new Angel CCM version bringing all our traditional Angel assets into that common menu. So again, compared to what Angel does right now, this looks very similar. I mean, the look and feel is a little bit different, but nothing really has changed in the way the user uses the menu. But now this menu is reusable for other custom content plugins. So most likely something like the audio plugin, if I can't get it fixed, may be transitioned to include a audio kind icon here and then have audio selections. Similarly, all of this content here is not limited to minis. As I just said, it could be audio, it could be, for example, slabs in there, or whatever a custom content plugin wants to add there. So yes, we'll be rolling out this soon.